very important question for you. Do you condone hummus?
Wait, that's a setup? No, just kidding. Do I condone hummus?
Hummus.
Hummus.
No, hummus.
Only if it's Lebanese made, right?
Yeah.
Hummus.
Yes.
What do you
Palestinian hummus.
Palestinian. I'm sorry. Listen, I love Lebanon.
Do you know a different, like, is there an ingredient difference?
Well, first of all, I've noticed that a lot of Lebanese people don't put olive oil on the hummus.
What? No.
They're not, they're definitely not Lebanese then.
Okay, what about falafel? Who has the best falafel?
Palestinians.
Okay. All right, she's biased.
No, I'm not biased.
She's Caucasian Palestinian.
What about pizza?
Pizza, the Lebanese people know how to do it. The seafood in Lebanon, amazing, incredible.
So you're going on humanitarian missions?
Yes.
Tell me, how did that start?
So 2 years ago, a charity organization called Reach and Human Appeal reached out to me, and the first trip that I did actually was with a different organization, but it was to Egypt to help displaced Gazans that have fled the genocide.
Wow. So you saw people that were born and raised in Gaza and you
Yes.
helped them?
Yes. So I went there 5 or 6 times to Egypt. And actually, so my father's from the West Bank, and that was the first time I'd ever seen anybody in real life from Gaza. So that was kind of a shock to me. And then witnessing children missing limbs. One of the children had a missing eyeball. That's something I never thought I would see in my life.
They were allowed to leave, or some people had to pay to leave, right?
Yeah, all of them. Every single Gazan that's living in Egypt had to pay at the border to flee the genocide.
How much?
Some people, it depended on the day, actually. And that's what we were getting from different stories from our brothers and sisters there. Some people were $5,000. Some families were $25,000. One person could be $10,000. It just depends.
And this is U.S. dollars.
Yes, U.S. dollars.
So, and it's the Egyptian side that's taking the money?
Yes.
So they're, like, inflating the cost to make money off of
Yes.
Palestinian.
They've literally, and it was a certain organization, I can't remember off the top of my head, but they literally made millions off of the pain and suffering of our people.
I think it's called the Hala Group.
Yeah, I think something like that.
So what are you trying to do there when you go now? Is to go to, like, basically refugee camps? Are these like refugee areas or what?
So in Egypt, because we were able to get there early, and thankfully our brothers and sisters from Gaza that are now displaced there, they all live in apartments. So our job was to make sure that we are covering 6 months or up to a year of their rent. Also providing food boxes. So we're providing rental assistance, food boxes. We were paying for schooling because people don't realize this. The Palestinian children, the Gazans that are living there, cannot go to public schools. They have to go to private schools there. And we were also investing in, by the third time that we went there, we realized we need to get our hand on this now before we have another refugee camp in Egypt like the other countries. So we created programs, and it's something that Jacob Berger was working on with an organization called Taboo Club, which we are great friends with, an amazing organization, to help fund a center where they could teach Palestinian women how to do tatreez to be able to sell those items. And it's really amazing because some of the girls from the organization brought those to ArabCon last weekend. Some of the tatreez designs that the Gazan women were making to sell, to bring that back to them. So we were able to put that on it because we cannot keep going to different countries across the world with refugee camps. So we quickly, are trying to get a grasp on that.
Are you happy that there's a ceasefire deal, or do you not trust it?
I do not trust the ceasefire.
Why not?
It's as I said yesterday in one of my videos that I posted. We are happy inside because our Gazan brothers and sisters were celebrating yesterday. But they've broken it how many times? Over 800 times. And also in Lebanon, they've broken the ceasefire. In Lebanon. Lebanon just got attacked 2 days ago, I believe. So I was happy for our brothers and sisters to have had a night of rest, which, as you guys know, they were already attacked. Israel already attacked them after all of these talks. But it was our job yesterday and today to put like a protection barrier around them, allow them to celebrate just a little bit so that we can continue to do the work. And this is really when our work really starts.
With a ceasefire, obviously that word has lost its meaning. They don't abide by it at all. They make up any excuse to say that, but Hamas did this, but Hezbollah did this, so we're gonna drone strike Lebanon every single day since the supposed ceasefire. So what are Palestinians actually looking for? What is the actual goal?
Well, the first thing is we want to make sure that we are able to get in to provide humanitarian aid into Gaza. We want to rebuild Gaza, and also all eyes on the West Bank as well, because the settlers are literally taking over more and more Palestinian homes, and we want to make sure that we get that taken care of as well. And another big thing is we don't give up even when we hear this word ceasefire or, okay, we're going to stop, we're sorry. Israel needs to pay for what they've done, especially after the last 2 years. With all of those deaths, for what? And then just for a simple sign of the paper ceasefire. And the bigger picture is for all Palestinians is to make sure that all Palestinians that have been kicked out, all dated all the way back to 1948, are allowed to return home. They need to have the right to return, the right of return for all Palestinians across the globe. We should not have 1 million displaced Palestinians in Lebanon and in Syria and all across. No, everybody needs to go home. And that's the ultimate goal at the end of all of this, is to make sure that everyone can go home.
Yeah. And how does the occupation pay for their crimes? What is true, punishment look like, where they would not do this again, or at least think twice?
Well, first of all, every IDF soldier, I believe, needs to be held accountable. Prison time. Bibi needs to go to jail. World leaders that helped fund this genocide, they need to, they need to go to jail also. They need to be held accountable. And the world leaders across the globe need to pay to rebuild Gaza. Listen, if you let us in, especially Palestinians, obviously the world, but if you let us into Gaza, yeah, they said, what was it, billions, $54 billion to rebuild Gaza, the UN is saying. And it's going to take years and years. Let us in, especially us Palestinians. We could rebuild it like this, no problem. But why should we have to pay for what the world sat back and watched? So they need to pay to rebuild Gaza. They need to...
But not from our own tax money, right?
Exactly, not from
pockets.
Exactly from their own pockets.
American tax dollars?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because we our tax dollars, as many of the viewers know.
Destroy Gaza.
Exactly. No, they need to pay for it with their own money, and let us in. That's the thing. Let us into Gaza.
You love Gaza so much, why don't you go back?
Exactly.
And then when you do, we must kidnap them.
Yeah.
Put them in jail.
Kidnap them, arrest them, beat them, starve them in jail.
So, but for people that don't really, or weren't really looking at the flotilla, I feel like at this point, if you haven't heard about a flotilla, you're kind of living under a rock. But do we know how many have actually, since flotillas have been a thing, has any flotilla actually made it to Gaza?
To my knowledge, no. And something that I want the viewers to know is, do not forget that the flotillas that you're seeing come in the last few months, there were flotillas years ago. And in fact, I believe it was 10 of the activists aboard.
The Turkish activists got.
Yeah, I think that was what?
2010.
2010.
Yeah.
They were unalived.
Yes.
For doing exactly what we are watching right now. So we can't forget about them also, because they opened it up for everybody.
Yeah. I think there has been boats that have made it to Gaza. I'm not specifically only talking about these last waves. So the siege has been broken before, but the percentage is insanely small. But yeah, as you said, like, let them in, let foreign reporters in, right? Let foreign aid in. But again, they don't want that, right? Mm-hmm. Because people will see their crimes. The ceasefire is never going to happen as long as Bibi's in power, mm-hmm. because the second that this, genocide stops, he's going to be held accountable. Mm-hmm. To be more positive, what can we do to help the humanitarian side of things, and with your missions and a call to action for that.
So as far as the humanitarian missions, a lot of people will say, okay, well, you're going on all of these humanitarian trips. I didn't just go to Egypt. I've gone to Jordan to help our Palestinian refugees there. I've been to Lebanon to help our Palestinian refugees, as well as Syrian refugees, as well as Lebanese brothers and sisters who are living there. I've been to Kenya, Africa last year to build water wells. I'm actually going to, in 4 days, back to Kenya, Africa to provide hot meals and build more water wells. And people are saying, yeah, but Gaza needs it right now. And I understand that. But we also, my part in the movement right now is I am able to join my brothers and sisters on these humanitarian trips. That's what I need to do right now, because there are other oppressed voices out there. And I'm still raising for Gaza. On Saturday, I hosted a charity event for the Union of Palestinian-American Women. We raised over $100,000 for Gaza. That's going to help provide prosthetics and multiple other things there, and as well as sponsoring over 100 children in Gaza. So I'm using my voice and my platform everywhere I can. I cannot go to Gaza. They won't let us in. So I can't sit back and do nothing. So that's why I join these humanitarian trips. And I want to make sure that people know, especially for me, yes, I'm Palestinian, and of course, I will help my Palestinian brothers and sisters wherever they are in the world. I will find them and I will feed them and whatever I can.
Yeah.
But there's other voices out there. Our Syrian brothers and sisters, our Lebanese brothers and sisters, and in Kenya, they don't have clean water wells. We're actually going into tribes building water wells. And so that's important for me. And how can people get involved? There's links in my bio. Anytime I get ready to go on these trips, right now I have one up for Kenya. There's a link in my bio under Linktree that says Reema's Horn of Africa, if you guys want to help build water wells and provide hot meals. But these are things to be proactive and supporting people's voices like your platform. It's important for the viewers to make sure, like, comment, share, repost your videos. It's important for people to do the same for me as a humanitarian, as an activist, and just be there for each other, build community. That's what is going to help us win at this moment. We've won the world over. We need the community to build and get tighter and closer so we can be as strong as our enemy.
So you think we've won the information war?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Zionism, they're down on their knees. They're literally thirsty. They are down on their knees. We won.
Don't you want to take $7,000 a post?
Right.
You think that's going well?
And I think that's amazing, too, when they say, oh, you guys got paid to talk about Palestine.
Yeah, how's that cut our money?
Exactly. People don't realize, some of us who are humanitarians and activists, we're carrying 2-3 jobs, doing side hustles because we've been demonetized on all of our platforms.
If they can tell us how to get that Qatar money, that'd be great.
That would be great. Qatar, please send me an email.
Do it. We'll
do $6,999. We'll take $1 off.
You get 3 for 1.
Yeah. But yeah. So we've won the information war. Now the next step is to be physically changing the material conditions, and you're gaining a lot of valuable experience doing the other missions, right? Building a water well in Kenya is going to be able to help Gaza eventually, right? So you're gaining a lot of knowledge from other missions to apply it to Gaza eventually when you are able to get in. So I like that, and I just want the viewers and the listeners to know that, like, how are all of these struggles linked?
Well, as far as the Palestinian refugees that I help across the different countries, they were forcibly displaced by Israel.
Right.
Kenya, Israel is funding, especially in Congo and Sudan, but the diamond business in Africa, that all leads back to Zionism, and something that I do. Also to make sure that we're carrying the voice of every oppressed wherever I go. One of the things in Kenya, when we build water wells, we are able to donate one of those water wells, and we have a plaque made from the charity to someone of our choice. Last year, I did one for my grandparents who are no longer living on my mother's side. It said, "In loving memory of Patricia and Arthur Smith." This year, I reached out to
You really are Caucasian.
Yeah, I really
Smith?
am.
You're a Smith?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of? So you're not lying with the Caucasian.
Oh yeah.
Caucasian Asians.
Yes, it's out there.
But did you know that
That's kind of good too.
Caucasian Asian? Yeah.
West
Tell you,
Asia.
my water well this year, that once it will be built and I get the plaque when we're there, which I'm going to make a whole video on, they asked me, who would you like to donate your water well to? This year I was going to do it for my dad's parents, who are both Palestinian. One of my grandparents is still living in Palestine. But I wanted to go a little bit bigger there, and so I donated my plaque and my water well, which again I will be posting a video about once I'm in Africa and I see the plaque, to Enes al-Sharif, who was one of the news journalists unalived by Israel, who was the voice of our people. Even when he was tired, his crew was behind him saying, Enes, keep going, keep talking, so that it will say, in loving memory of Enes al-Sharif.
And all the martyrs, the quote is, every martyr is a universe.
Yes.
But like, we want to really drive home the fact that Anas,
sure,
and every single one of these martyrs was horribly murdered, massacred, right? We want to really drive home that point. Unalivement that's what they want, right? They want us to censor ourselves. They don't want us to really drive home the point that our people are being genocided, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, we also have to play the game right too. Yeah. We like to ask Palestinians the general consensus, like, what does a free Palestine look like? What is the future of Palestine? What is the future of this movement? And your thoughts. Obviously, it's very personal, but if you don't mind sharing, like, what is because we met at Jubilee 2 years ago, and the raw feeling back then, comparing it to now, I'm sure there's a lot that's same, there's a lot that's worse, there's a lot that's better. We've learned how to navigate the emotions better. But what, at this point, does a free Palestine look like to you?
We want, and I've said this on my TikTok live streams before, we want exactly what our brothers and sisters on the ground who are living there right now, we want for them what they want. So we go by what they're asking us to do, because they are paying the ultimate sacrifice just for carrying the Palestinian identity, because they are on the ground. We are the lucky ones. We're not having to deal with what the people in Gaza are dealing with, or in the West Bank. The ultimate goal is the right of return. I don't like to personally say one state, two state. When people ask me, I've learned there's a time for that. I don't want to talk about it, because then it takes away from the bigger message of what we're talking about. But it's the right of return for every single Palestinian displaced across the globe. That's for me the biggest thing.
Yeah, I mean, getting into the politics of it really distracts from the real goal, the human goal of just being able to
freedom,
stop being in survival mode, and actually thrive after 80 plus years. This didn't even start. People like to even say that it started in 1948. It started way before 1948. It started in the late 1800s at the very least. So is there anything else that you want to drive home? Any messages for the audience that we can do to help?
So the biggest thing right now, as I said earlier, is community. And I'm speaking to my Arab brothers and sisters right now. I don't care if you're Muslim, Christian, if you don't believe in anything. We need to be united. Especially when I went to Lebanon a few months ago on a humanitarian trip. I stayed this time for a month, and I got to speak to the locals in Lebanon and to really find out more of their stories. And I went to the south of Lebanon, and I saw the destruction and the buildings, the homes bombed from Israel. And my heart, I've always had respect for our Lebanese brothers and sisters, but being there for a month, I came back with more respect for them. And my heart genuinely hurts from that. Like, I still, to this day, when I talk about it on my social media, I cry for them.
Yeah. Were you since they can just kind of drone strike and bomb with impunity, did you feel that your life was in danger at all when you were in South Lebanon?
Yeah, I did. Especially when I got out to see the border, where Palestine was, which it was a little ways, but I was able to see it.
Yeah.
And
did you feel like there might be like a drone above you?
literally our driver was like, get out, take a picture, get back in, and let's go. We got to go, because that's how dangerous it is in the south of Lebanon. And I wanted to build, and that's for a different time, but there's a little bit of a between what's happening in Lebanon and with Palestinians, Syrians, and Lebanese people. I'm sorry, we got to talk about it if we're going to fix our community. And that was one of my things, to really project that in my videos when I came back, to show how beautiful the people of Lebanon were and how we all can be united. And we need to lean on each other, all of us, whether that's in Yemen, Syria, Iraq, Palestine, Lebanon, all of us together. And again, building community, supporting each other's voices, businesses, and whatever that we do, so we can be strong. And one other thing is, we need to make sure that we're uplifting our brothers and sisters' voices in Congo and Sudan, because they need us too. I saw a post the other day where the Team Congo on Instagram had been trying to reach out to the organizers of BDS, and they finally got back to them. And BDS, the Palestinian movement to boycott, divest, and sanction, is now going to help Team Congo and teach them how to boycott. That is beautiful.
Incredible,
That is community right there.
Yeah.
And Team Congo posted it on their Instagram, and they were so happy. Thank you guys so much for tagging them. We're going to work together. They're going to teach us. That's how it has to be. I know that we're suffering. I know that the Lebanese people are suffering. But we got to remember our brothers and sisters. We don't want them to live another 80 years and have to struggle and put their stories out there as we did. So we put them on our shoulders and we carry them with us, because their pain is our pain. So it's really about community, working together.
Is it too dramatic to say that when Gaza becomes freed, the world will be free?
That is.
Or is it going to be a domino effect?
I think that is very well said.
Yeah.
And I think the world needs to know that and continue to say that, because it is the truth. It's all connected. All of it is connected. You will never meet anybody like the people of Gaza. The most strong. When I went to Egypt and I met one of the Gazan sisters, she's missing an arm. She was missing a leg. 6 of her children unalived. 6 of her children brutally murdered by a bomb in Gaza from Israel. She survived because she was holding her baby in her arm, breastfeeding. Her baby died also. She survived because her baby protected her. And when they were playing Ana Demi Falastini at one of the events that we made for them during Ramadan, I happened to look over, and she's there with no arm, no leg, and just smiling. Ana Demi Falastini, with her other hand. And I said, my God, she can smile. If we don't save Gaza, yes, that's it. The world will fail. That's it. How can we have a woman like that who lost 6 of her children in a bed, who was breastfeeding her infant, lost her infant, who saved her life with no arm, no leg, and she can still smile?
Right.
So yes, your statement is absolutely true.
And just for what was the statement?
That
We're not free.
we are not free until Gaza is free.
And on that note, Caucasian Arab, aka Reema Smith.
Caucasian Asian.
Yeah. I appreciate your time. We're here on the lovely rooftop at Jackson Market. They, kindly hooked it up for us today.
Market.
And we hope to see you again, maybe in the studio next time with all the squad. Make it a real Habibi House.
Yes.
But yeah, good luck on
Thank you so
on your next mission. I know you're headed to Africa.
Yep.
And we will be in touch.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Name 3 countries in Africa.